Hey gang, welcome to another episode of Wisdom Wednesday from Austin, Texas, beautiful Austin Dental Spa. And we are getting beautiful spring weather today. It's 75, 80 degrees out there after being in the 30s last week. So I'm Mark Sweeney, founder of Austin Dental Spa. This is Dr. Krista DeCurson, and this is Dr. Kirsten Tuvino. They are the K-team. And if you've tuned into other Wisdom Wednesdays, you've seen them. They come and join me regularly. And someday they may just take this whole thing over. So, but today you got all three of us, and the theme for the month of February, as you know if you tuned in last week, which was Valentine's Day, is Love Rules. And we're trying to have fun with that. It's either love rules, like these are rules you follow, or alternately love rules, like love rules. So we've had fun with that, and we're going to have fun with that. Today, we're going to talk about aging and different things that can make you age faster and things that can make you age slower, including breakfast. A researcher that studied the oldest living people on the planet and found that the breakfast that they eat is not what you might be thinking. But first, if you have tuned into Wisdom Wednesdays, you're already familiar with this. If you have not, and this is your first time, welcome. And we try to give you a little scientific information briefly, less than 10 minutes, and then we end with a fun health tip that you can put to work immediately. So today we're talking about studies that show things that can make you age faster, which nobody that I know wants to do, except when I was 19, I wanted to look like I was 25.
Right.
But we're going to talk about those things today. So first, Kirsten, tell us about the different kinds of aging.
So there's two different types of aging, intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic has to do with genetic factors. So unfortunately, not a whole lot you can do about that.
DNA, you can't change that.
Can't change DNA. Then extrinsic has to do with lifestyle factors, things like alcohol, smoking, whether or not you exercise, and stress management. I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are the things you can control, and so those are the things we're going to focus on today. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, you hear this from me regularly when we start talking about things that can make you healthier. Sleep is one of the number one things, right, Krista?
It sure is. In fact, all longevity doctors will all agree that the number one thing to age you is lack of sleep. So we don't want that. So let's talk about evidence, a healthy lifestyle, and one of the number one things is to get good quality sleep.
Yeah, like 7 to 8 hours a night, which I never
It's hard to do. It's hard to do. We try.
On the weekends.
But what it can improve, though, 7 to 8 hours of sleep, is it can improve cellular and tissue health, improves cognitive function, boosts immunity, increases energy levels, and boosts metabolism.
There's 4 things that a good night's sleep can help with. Now, let's talk about the flip side of that coin. What are things that a lack of sleep can affect in a negative way?
One of those is wrinkles and premature skin aging.
Ooh.
We don't
want wrinkles.
No, we don't want wrinkles. Another one is cognitive impairment. Decline in motor skills, slow down in information processing.
We've probably all had some experience with that when you pulled an all-nighter before a test in college, and when you've stayed up all night for whatever reason as an adult, and you don't function so well the next day. You're kind of slow on the uptake, as we call it.
Absolutely.
What's another one?
Another one is it can cause a weakened immune system. I think we've all been there, not enough sleep. We've caught a bad cold. Oh, it's horrible.
Feel run down.
Yeah, we see that every year during finals at UT when students come in here and they've been not getting enough sleep and their immune system goes down, so they end up getting sick.
Yeah, absolutely.
On top of the lack of sleep.
Absolutely.
Well, how do we fix all of that, team?
get more sleep.
Yeah.
How can we do that though? There's some ways that you can prioritize this and make your quality of sleep better. One way is just being consistent. So try to get on a good sleep schedule, which takes some time and some effort, but getting on a schedule definitely helps. Another one is to expose yourself to sun shortly after waking up. We don't really have that.
We don't have that problem
luxury
here, but some places do have where they're dark for 4 months out of the year,
Right.
and they don't have the direct sun exposure that we do. But pretty much as soon as we open the shades in the morning, we're exposed to the sunlight.
Another one that is challenging for all of us is to limit caffeine and alcohol. Ooh.
Yeah.
But
They say don't drink caffeine for several hours before you go to sleep, especially if you're sensitive to it. And the experts say don't drink alcohol within an hour or two of sleep, 2 hours of sleep.
Another one is limit screen time. I know this is hard for me.
Yeah, that's a challenge for you.
So
There is evidence that looking at your cell phone for a prolonged period, especially up close to your face, right before you're going to sleep, can negatively affect your sleep patterns.
because of the blue light.
Yeah.
Another one to help is create a relaxing bedtime routine. So whatever's going to tell your body it's time to chill out, we're going to sleep soon.
I know people that get in a warm bath and take a nice, quiet, long bath before they get in bed, and that they feel like that helps them sleep. Some people drink a glass of warm milk.
Yep. Another one is make your bedroom a sanctuary, spa-like feel. So invest in good mattress, good sheets, and comfy pillow. That'll help you sleep.
Yeah, I bought a new set of sheets, 70-year-old guy. But some people had told me about them, bamboo sheets. I thought the Egyptian cotton sheets with a high count were the bomb 7, 8 years ago. And these things, I don't want to get out of bed in the morning. They're like silk almost. They feel so smooth. So I can agree with that making your bedroom and your bed particularly a comfortable place, a sanctuary, will help you sleep better.
All right, Mark, what's your health tip of the week?
You know what? There was a researcher who spent a good bit of time with the oldest living civilization on Earth. And I thought, we're talking about deepest Africa or somewhere, but nope, it was actually in a part of Costa Rica where the average citizen in that tribal area lives well over 100 years old. There are a bunch of people living over 100 years old, and their breakfast consists mainly of black beans, rice, and a specific kind of corn tortilla that is made with some kind of, what's the wood that they said?
Wood ash.
Wood, ash, or lime. That supposedly the wood ash and the lime that you're making the corn tortillas on gives them niacin, which, bread companies, they have on the outside of the bread loaf, niacin added, which means they took it away somewhere in the process and they added it back. But these people, there's a rich in niacin and something else. But the black beans and the rice were the two main ingredients between the two of them. And I heard this from an instructor back in college, that beans and rice give you a lot of proteins that you need and amino acids. Just those two food groups can complete about 80% of what's an essential diet. So, and they had coffee there that was made from the beans that they grew right there in the forest where these people live. So coffee's not necessarily a bad thing if it's done in the mornings. But anyway, these people lived all natural. They didn't have a Starbucks in town. They didn't have any civilized stuff. So the stuff that they got straight from the forest and the things that they grew around them. So there is something to this anti-aging stuff. Now, what the study didn't say is what do these 100-year-olds look like? So anyway, that's another subject for another day. That's my health tip is watch what you eat and try to eat healthy. And maybe we should all consider those black beans and rice added to our diet to increase our nutrition a little bit. So that's it for this version of Wisdom Wednesday. We will get to you next week for our last version in February of Wisdom Wednesday, and then we're on to March. So see you next week for another version of Wisdom Wednesday.